Okay, our next book, guys, is The Snail Who Forgot the Mail. Look at that cute little snail on there. So Grandma's going to read to you. This book, here's a bigger picture of the snail. This book is by Sigal Adler with illustrations by Fairy M and Lin Tang Pandu P. "You forgot the mail," the king yelled at the snail, but the snail stayed calm as could be. He was not afraid of the king, you see. He knew where the gift was. He knew what to do. The monsters learned that patience pays off too. We are all familiar with the phenomenon. Can you say that word? Phenomenon. Luna, can you say phenomenon? It's kind of a fun word to say. We are all familiar with the phenomenon of children wanting everything here and now. This story describes just such a situation. The forest monsters woke up to see a nice surprise. Trees full of ribbons and balloons in every size. But the biggest surprise was a sign on a tree. They wondered what it said and all ran to see. "The party will be at the palace next Sunday at 2. All the monsters are invited. We'll be waiting for you. The Monster King celebrates just once every year, so come one and all. We're expecting you here." Look how excited the monsters are. They can't wait to go to the party. Monster King felt great. He had planned everything. He would show off the present from Mountain Monster King. He arranged with the post office to do things his way, to deliver the special package exactly on that day, the day of the party. The forest monsters looked forward to the celebration. Monster King's parties were the best in the nation. The monsters bought new suits. They'd be properly dressed. The ladies bought new dresses so they'd all look their best. Everyone was curious, but soon it would be clear what present had Mountain Monster King sent this year. Look, they're all guessing at what they think the present might be. The snail was excited. He couldn't sleep at night. He'd never see the king's castle. A beautiful sight, but the angry king would stamp his feet if he arrives late. There'd be an earthquake and thunder if the king had to wait. To annoy His Royal Highness is not a good thing. He's impatient and short-tempered, the Forest Monster King. Excuse me, it's making me sleepy already. The snail put on his glasses and went on his way. It was early Saturday morning on a warm summer day. The monsters were coming to the party the next afternoon, but the snail wasn't worried. He knew he'd be there soon. The mailman marched onwards. His knee was a bit sore, but he didn't slow down. He walked as quickly as before. Look, here's the snail waking up. He doesn't have his snail suit on yet. He's just laying in his bed. Hope he has jammies on. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Okay. He arrived at the royal palace safely and on time. The palace was all decorated. It looked truly fine. The walls were covered with lights and flowers galore. The throne was all surrounded with gifts on the floor. But His Royal Highness and all the guests thought it was about time to see what the snail had brought. Look how decorated it is. See? Pretty, huh? The king gathered the guests when he saw the snail. Let's see what the Mountain King sent in the mail. Everyone was silent and looked towards the throne. But what had the Mountain King sent from his home? So there's a king sitting on his throne, waiting to open his gifts. Oh no, said the snail. I forgot the mail at home. But don't worry, it is not far as Rome. And make no mistake, there is no need to worry. I'll be back very quickly. I am going to hurry. Ooh, look, they're all a little bit worried. Uh-oh, the snail forgot it. Little snail, don't be silly. You're not on the right track. It will take you 3 days to go home and come back. I want my present right now. This just won't do. I don't want to wait at all. I'm disappointed in you. By now the king was boiling with rage. He looked angrier than a lion trapped in a cage. Look at that. He's mad and he's pointing at the snail. Uh-oh. Poor snail. He just forgot. The king might stamp his feet. The guests started to shake. There would be lightning, thunder, and maybe an earthquake. Look, everybody's getting scared. Oops, that's the same one. Everybody's getting scared. Ah! Can you get scared? Ah! The snail spoke to the king. His voice was loud and clear. You're impatient and short-tempered, but I have no fear. If you have more patience to hear what others say, you would understand much more. It's a much better way. The solution is simple because, as everyone knows, a snail takes his house with him wherever he goes. Oh, that's true. Remember, he was sleeping and that's weird. Oh well. Anyway, the snail wasn't on his back, but he still takes it with him wherever he goes. The snail poked his head into his house on his back. He gave the king a gold envelope framed in black. Inside was a tiny computer no larger than a hand. Oh, is that like a phone? Like my smartphone I'm talking to you on? Just what the king had dreamed of to help him rule his land. Just what I've always wanted, he says. Look, he's so happy. Everybody cheered for the courageous little snail. He stood up to the monster king, and his advice did prevail. The forest monster was a good king, but truth to tell, he was much too impatient, quick to anger and to yell. See? Now he's happy. The king of the forest monsters said sorry right away. It's important to say you're sorry when you're wrong, huh? He shook the snail's hand. This is what he had to say. You taught me that if I stay calm and polite, if I have patience and I'm careful not to fight, if I think before I act and hear what others have to say, life will be more peaceful. It's a much better way. See, they're shaking hands. Thank you, Mr. Snail, for teaching the forest monster king how to be patient. And here's the end. The end. Okay, well, that's another entry to Storytime with Grandma, and I hope you use it for your nap or your sleep and your bedtime, and you have good dreams. And I hope this also teaches us to be patient and to listen to everything everybody has to say before we get mad at anybody. Okay? I love you. Mwah!